If you are planning to write the PMP exam anytime soon, then you need to freeze whatever you are doing right now. Now, there is a hard, unmovable deadline on July 9, 2026. On that exact day, the Project Management Institute, that's PMI, they are retiring the old exam framework and bringing in the new one based on the PMBOK 8. Now, what that means for you is that if you do not adjust your study plan and make sure that it fits the new exam content outline, you risk walking into an exam test center and facing an exam that you are totally unprepared for. Now, I'm going to be helping you in this video by doing 3 things. First of all, telling you what has changed. Secondly, what that means for you. And thirdly, what you need to guarantee a pass. Come along with me. Welcome here. Now, like I mentioned earlier, what we are going to be doing for you in this video is to show you what has actually changed and what that means for you as someone who wants to get a PMP certification and the future steps to take. It's important to note that what the major changes that are happening can be explained in a way that if you want to teach someone how to drive, you don't just show them how to do the theoretical parts of it, like, oh, we want to drive a steering wheel, you move your hand like this, but they never get in the car. That is what the PMBOK 7 felt like initially. Now, the PMBOK 8 is an aspect that now shows you how to drive the car, tells you how to do it, and puts everything together. So it shows you, tells you the theory, gives you the names of the steering, the brake, the clutching, all those things, and then shows you how to actually press each of those things and use them to get to your destination. Basically, principles and processes put together. That is the summary of what we're going to be experiencing from this PMBOK 7 versus the PMBOK 8. Let's look at the hard facts. The current exam framework remains only until July 8. From then on, July 9, the PMP exam outline is changing. Well, don't be afraid, right? Don't be too scared. It's not something to panic about, right? So the very common misconception is that your training would be affected. Any training you took earlier would be affected. No. On your certificate, you're not going to see PMBOK 7 or PMBOK 8. No, that is not how it's going to work. But it is based on the new exam content outline. And that is what is truly, truly important. A PMP is a PMP. However, it is based on the new exam content outline. I'm going to take you back a bit, a quick history, so you understand the changes that are occurring. The PMBOK 6 was one that was really focused on being practical. You know, that person that will just be telling you what to do, like the way to go from block A to block B to block C and the kind of results you'll be getting. But because of that, it lacked the foundational aspects of mindset shifts, the behaviors, the philosophy behind actions, and that is what PMBOK 7 now came to do. It gave us principles, about 12 of them, and about 8 performance domains, all a package to just ensure that you understand the mindset, the philosophy, the behavior behind each action. But there was a problem. It now lacks the processes. And it's one thing to know the mindset behind something or the thinking behind something, but yet you do not know how to get from block A to block B. For example, I'm using the GPS, or I'm using Google Map, right? And it's telling me to go from here to somewhere in Lagos. I'm using that as a guide. But I get to a particular point, and I do know that I've been here before, and this road will be better. So sometimes you don't have to reroute it on your own, and then by the time it sees you changing your path, it then reroutes itself because you understand the way to actually navigate a rigid environment. So it's showing you a very straightforward path, but you know that you on your own understand the mindset that it's using, which means that you can reroute it on your own and then it would follow you. But the point is, we are still going to Lagos. It understands the destination. In summary, what I'm just trying to say is that PMBOK 6 was focused on how to do things, the process, how to get from point A to point B. But PMBOK 7 shows us the mindset behind it, the behavior behind each and every one of them. And now PMBOK 8 now comes to bring everything together. It's a good balance of philosophy and practicality, of processes and the behaviors behind the processes. That is what the history is all about. And that PMBOK 8 is the connection, is the balance. You will understand and think of it as a bridge. So it brings the flexibility that PMBOK 6 lacks, and then brings the practicality that PMBOK 7 lacks, brings it all together in one combined volume. That is, in summary, what the PMBOK 8 is doing. Using that knowledge that you have now, we are going to be putting the PMBOK 7 and PMBOK 8 side by side. You'd see that PMBOK 8 is now a conceptual plus practical orientation. It has 6 principles, we have 7 domains, we have 40 processes, 5 focus areas, and then mindset plus execution. So on the other side, you see the PMBOK 7, where instead of just conceptual and practical, it's just conceptual. It had 12 principles, 8 domains, just mindset and value. But PMBOK 8 is an addition of that, and enhances it and optimizes it in a way that ensures there is a balance that we are talking about. In the past slide, we have shown you a few things that have changed. If there's one thing that you should remember from this end, as we go further, you would see the differences between that of the PMBOK 6 and that of the PMBOK 8. But the major thing to understand in this is that, I gave an example of a car earlier, and I could use another example. Let's say a wedding. Now, in a wedding, you want your guests to have an amazing time. But the truth is, you want to also ensure that you detail and articulately put it out how this amazing time is going to happen, starting from who is coming to the wedding, to how they are getting to the location, to what they see first as they enter, and generally every experience, every activity they are going to be having, even down to the food. So the principle is, I want them to have a good time. But the processes are the fact that you are determining how they are getting there, who's getting there, and what they are even doing or eating at the wedding. I think that makes processes and principles a bit clearer, right? So now there are 5 focus areas in these processes. We have initiating, we have planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and finally closing. Now, something I can just add here to just show you a little something is that all these particular focus areas may not be seen in every process. So some domains, which we would get ahead to explain, are actually just have probably 3 processes or maybe 4 processes, and those 4 processes could come from just 3 focus areas. But I will explain this and dissect it even further. But just understand that in PMBOK 8, we now have 5 focus areas, and they were called process groups before, but they are now called focus areas. I'll explain. Let's show you what this actually means. So what this means is, if I zoom in even better, you'll be able to see that now in the PMBOK 6, which is right on your left hand side, and then the PMBOK 8, which is on your right hand side, you'd see the different processes. They are both processes. And before someone asks, once again, there was no process in PMBOK 7. Now, in the PMBOK 6, you'd see the project management process groups, you'd see knowledge areas, and that was how it was. But PMBOK 8, you'd now see that instead of project management process groups, you now have project management focus areas. One difference. Then the other thing is, on the left hand side, you see that they were known as knowledge areas, but in PMBOK 8 they are seen as performance domains. And you see that in this performance domains there are 7 of them, while on the PMBOK 6 there were 8 of them. This is just a number thing and then just a slight difference. Let me show you an example. Here you would see project scope management, and if you come to this other side, you would see, so they are still the same thing, because if you look at the first process here, from the project scope management and the planning, you see plan scope management. Now if you come to PMBOK 8, you see scope, you still see scope, and then when you see that under planning and scope, the first thing is plan scope management. Just to let you know that the differences are very intricate, but not so much. The major thing is in the names, the terminologies that it has been called, just nomenclature, and then a few tiny changes. For example, we don't have any project integration management. It's it's now known as governance. That's where the project starts, and you get your project charter and all those things. And for example, here too, there is no project quality management, and because you can see it's not here anymore, but you see quality management in governance. I'll explain. See, plan quality management, manage quality, control quality. Come back up here and you see manage quality assurance. It's just being consolidated into one process. That is all it needed. Moving on, we also have a different change, which is that there are new concepts. These are things that were definitely not present anymore in the PMBOK 7 or PMBOK 8. The first part is AI. AI is the rage now. So you'll be seeing things about AI. It actually addresses how a project manager can access the use of AI in any aspect of their work, in their processes, the using of ChatGPT, Gemini, integrating it into their work process. So you'll not be coding models. We're not asking you to code models, but you'll be seeing and understanding how you can apply artificial intelligence into your work to make it more optimized, right? Then also they've integrated sustainability, things that ensure that we understand what it means as a human resource person, as a project manager, caring about the environment, the climate. How is your project actually attuned to understanding what it means to be sustainable? Because every project needs to be sustained in the terms of continuity, in the terms of environment. Every project is meant to be sustainable. It should be able to be continued and should carry across the whole life cycle. In summary, it should be sustainable across the whole life cycle. Now, another thing that has been emphasized in the PMBOK 8 is value delivery. There is now a more specific guidance to ensuring value is being given out. Like I mentioned earlier, you'd see that the PMBOK 7 was just focused on teaching you the philosophy, theories, just mindset and then value based on a characteristic, but not actually how to bring out as an output to see it in the work. How is value measured? What are the benefits of value and the outcomes for an organization? As a project manager, how are you actually ensuring that the output is value and it's being measured? What standards are you measuring it by? The PMBOK 8 is now very, very hammered on that. It shows value-based delivery and then also how to navigate complex environments, which is why in the PMBOK 8 there is more emphasis, and in our new exam outline too, there is more emphasis on the Agile project methodology than the predictive project methodology. So it's now a 60-40 thing where there is more of Agile and slightly less of predictive. I've also mentioned that another change that occurred is the change of the distillation of the 12 principles of the PMBOK. Like I said, there were 12 of them and they were good. Now, if your company has about 12 values, 1, 2, 3, you're not going to be able to count everything on my 10 hands, on my 10 fingers. That's to tell you that it's already a lot. And when things are a lot, people have to start cramming, and memorizing them takes time. But if I have only 6 things, I can count 6 on my hands, right? So you can understand that 6 things, easier to see, easier to memorize, easier to understand, and easier to carry to heart. And these are adopting a holistic value, focus on value, embedding quality into your processes and deliverables, being an accountable leader, building an empowered culture, and integrating sustainability across your projects. So instead of 12 principles in the PMBOK 7, you now have 6 principles in the PMBOK 8. Then, just like we mentioned earlier, the 8 domains have become 7. There are now 7 of them: governance, scope, schedule, finance, stakeholders, resources, and risk. All different organizations can fall into different parts of domains. There might be domains that are more visible in your organization, while there are ones that will be played out much more in a different organization. For example, we have a tech company. Now, a tech company would be focused on what is the scope of their work, what exactly are they trying to deliver, their timing, their schedule, and then the stakeholders, the users they are working with, maybe capital funding, and then the risk part of it. But resources wouldn't be a major focus for them. But then for a construction company, resources are so important. How are they sourcing things? How have they planned their sourcing strategy? Are they doing external sourcing or are they doing internal sourcing? These are things that you'd consider in an organization. So it's very common for some domains to be prioritized in organizations and some to not be prioritized. But majorly, it's important to just know that 8 domains not have become 7. Another thing that has changed is the 3-domain structure. There was a shift. If you're someone that has written the PMP exam before or you've trained, you would know that there are 3 major domain structure. Now, those domains are still there, but the weight has changed. It has moved a lot. Now, the one that focuses on people has dropped from 42 to 33. Process has dropped from 50% to 41%. And then the business environment has changed from 8% to 26% on the exam outline. All this is just numbers. What this generally means for you is that for the business environment that has changed from 8% to 26%, it means that we are going to be looking a lot at organizational change, how to be strategic. You know, you are learning the philosophy from the PMBOK 7, and then you're going to be adding that philosophy to practicality in the business environment, which is why people are still very much important and processes are now very, very important. But then the business environment has also grown exponentially important because people need to know how to navigate projects in a business environment and how you can add to that business environment. So if your study plan was only giving you business environment 8% of the time, you need to rebalance immediately. You need to change your study plan, and you can do this with the new exam content outline, which we will add to the end of this video and the description. But now, the format is still the same. You still have your 180 questions, 230 minutes, 2 10-minute breaks, and then you still have agile and predictive, right? The only difference is that the questions are now more scenario based, right? You're going to be having some drag and dropping and matching, and then some graphic interpretations in your questions, and then it's really focused on the real world. It wants you to be able to translate your knowledge to the real world environment, the business environment. No more theory, just practical ability to translate what you know. But all these other things stay the same. The 3 domains, the emphasis on that, the eligibility, your 35 contact hours, all these things are still the same. Now, these are very common FAQs, which are the frequently asked questions. I use the old PMBOK to train. Do I need to retake the training? No, you don't. You don't need to retake the training. However, you might need to update your training. So for eligibility, no, that's what it's trying to tell you. You don't need to, you're already eligible to write. If you're able to train, take your 25 contact hours and they don't expire, you are able to take your exam. You're eligible to write your exam. But the problem here now lies in your ability to update your knowledge. So from all I've said now, all the processes that have changed, all the principles, this would let you know that there are changes that you need to learn about. It just requires you to have an updated knowledge. Okay? So heads up, it's not totally change. It's not a full change from what you knew, but it's going to require you to update the knowledge that you already had before, right? Update your study materials because the content has moved. We have now artificial intelligence, sustainability, all those things that we mentioned earlier. These are things that you're now going to see, and you need to update your knowledge on those things. Okay? Thank you. Now, should you test before or after July 9? Well, if you are trained on the PMBOK 7, then I really advise, if you're seeing this video before July 9th, then you should test before then. You're already deep into studying the current format and you realistically can sit for the exam and will be ready and not fail, then you should. But if you want to take the test after July 9th, then that means you're just starting your PMP journey, or you're actually going to need more time to prepare. You want to have the most current framework for you, which is why, once again, check the new exam outline. Look for new study plans. At Certification Edge here, we're going to be showing you new things, and we're updating the platform so that you have access to new knowledge, the new knowledge that has been updated, because you do need it. Now, finally, if the new exam is your plan, I'm going to be giving you an action plan, 6 ways to ensure that you can actually write this exam, this new one. First of all, rebalance. So if you are focused on training, the practice questions you are taking were majorly for other processes and people, need to give more time to the business environment. And now the second thing to do is learn how AI actually fits the project manager's workflow. It's not coding, it's not anything too technical, but just ways that it can be integrated into your workflow. How can a project manager use this? Because you know that this AI is not just it's not, oh, do you know some AI? How many AI do you know? Gemini, ChatGPT, they've disappeared, Perplexity. That's not what you're going to be asked. You're going to be asked, how would I apply the use of ChatGPT into developing a new workflow for this schedule? That kind of scenario, those are the things that you'll be asked. So you need to rebalance and know how AI fits into that workflow. And then also get the sustainability basics. Understand what it means for your fundamentals, what it means that your planning is actually climate friendly, eco-friendly, and also it's sustainable throughout the life cycle of that project. And then practice benefits management, build a benefits plan and deliverables for strategy, for value. Actually practice it. And then the fifth thing is get comfortable with ambiguity. What this means is more it-depend questions than practice questions that are rigid and you are used to. Try to ask yourself more scenario-based questions, things that are not normal, things that will make you think more flexibly than rigidly. And lastly, anchor everything, like a secret, anchor everything to the new exam outline, the 2026 PMP exam outline. It is so expedient that you do this, because that is the last thing I'm going to be telling you in this video, and that is the most fundamental thing you need to know, is that the 2021 outline that was being used, the old outline that was being used, is no longer valid from July 9th. From July 9th is a new ball game. You're going to be using the 2026 exam outline. The last thing that you should definitely take away is that PMBOK 7 taught us how to think. It taught us value, how to imagine, how to focus on the mindset, which is very important. Or PMBOK 8 teaches you how to execute. So it's mindset, philosophy plus execution, where you need to understand your stakeholders, understand the risk. So you're not picking a side, oh, PMBOK 7 was better, PMBOK 8 was better. It's a formation to ensure that value is obtained, value is delivered, and that every project is value driven and execution, and every project manager is capable of execution. Thank you for coming along with me on this journey. The truth is, the transition from the PMBOK 8 can be overwhelming, but if you're able to pivot your study plan right now, you'll be able to exert these changes and pass your exams in flying colors. Now, all you have to do is ensure that you do make the changes. Those changes are expedient. Before you click off this video, make sure you put in the comment section one thing that you're going to be changing about your study plan. And if this video has added any value to your PMP training or your PMP journey, make sure to hit that like button or subscribe to this channel and share to friends, people you know that are going to be having their PMP training or PMP examinations or are starting out in their PMP journey. This is current information. All right then, enjoy the rest of your day.